Hiya! Welcome! Alright, I said there wouldn't be a part 9, and once again, I'm contradicting myself. Part 8 of the New Order collection update videos, I said there wasn't really much left that I wanted, and that anything that I will get that's New Order, Joy Division related, etc., I'll just show in records roundups, because it'll be just the odd piece here and there, the odd album, single, whatever it might be. And indeed, in the last records roundup, I did show, 2 Joy Division bootlegs and something else New Order related. I can't remember offhand. Well, yeah, the thing is though, I stuck my head in the rabbit hole once more and ended up finding a lot more stuff that I thought, yeah, I'd like that. And the vast majority of it was pretty cheap as well. Lots of singles, how many albums? 2 or 3 I think, and a mail opening to do at the end, kind of a mail opening, I'll explain near the end. Right, let's crack on with all the stuff I got from Discogs first, and a couple of 7-inch singles to show you. Now a lot of this is blind buys, but if they're produced by a member of New Order, or they feature a member of New Order, then I want it, basically. This one is a single from a Discogs seller, and the band is Blessed Ethel. The track is Blue Plastic. No, it's not a double A side because it says A and B. B side is the Menacer, by the way. And you might be able to see on the back, it is produced by Peter Hook. So this came out on the Rough Trade label, 1993, December, gives you the date on it, and it's part of their 7-inch singles club. And basically it was a bunch of indie groups, indie artists who Rough Trade was showcasing. I think this was like a mail order club. Nice condition sleeve, by the way. Quick look at the vinyl, but not a lot to see really. Blessed Ethel, female-led indie guitar band. Can't really say anything else about them. They released some other singles. I don't know if this was their debut, it may have been, but they released a few other singles that I think did okay-ish on the indie charts. I don't even know if they ever released a full album. So that this was produced by Peter Hook, so I had to have it. And it wasn't expensive, this either. I'm going to struggle to remember the prices for the majority of this stuff, but I've got a feeling this was not much more than about £3 or £4. So that is Blue Plastic, disappointingly not on blue vinyl, from Blessed Ethel. Great band name, by the way. Second and final 7-inch single is another Peter Hook, not production, but he plays bass on this. This is 10 years prior to Blessed Ethel and Blue Plastic. This is from I think 1983, or it could be 84. And it is Martha Ladley and, what's it called? Light Years from Love. Martha Ladley there, attractive lady. She was the partner at the time of Peter Saville, who was the graphic designer extraordinaire for Factory Records. I've talked about Saville plenty of times on the channel previously. I believe he designed at least the typeface for this single. Martha Ladley, I think she's Canadian. She was actually in Martha and the Muffins, the new wave group of Echo Beach fame, but confusingly, she wasn't the Martha who did lead vocals. There was actually 2 Marthas in it, at least for a time, and she was one. I think she provided backing vocals and played keyboards as well. This is produced by Steve Nye. Martha Ladley's credited with vocals and synthesizer on this. Peter Hook is bass guitar, and there's a few other credits as well. I have listened to a little bit of this single because it was one I was unfamiliar with. It's credited just to Martha, but Martha Ladley is her name. It's alright actually. Not something I would have picked up had Peter Hook not been on it, but he is. So I thought I'd get it. And there again, I say this wasn't expensive. I think actually this was maybe pushing towards £15, but it's quite a rare single this really, but nice condition for its age. I think it's 1983. Yeah, typography, Peter Saville Associates. It's not his greatest work, but the prominent photo of the attractive blonde Canadian lady is the important bit really. Meant to look like a sort of standard pop single sleeve at the time. It did nothing in the chart to the best of my knowledge, but pretty good song. Martha and Light Years from Love. On to some 12-inch singles from Discogs now. Dancing Madly Backwards. Now this is a Peter Hook credited single, except it's actually a split single because it's also a Ministry single. So it's got Ministry, Dancing Madly Backwards on one side and Peter Hook's version on the other. It's a cover version of something, and oh, I'm trying to remember now. It's from some American band in the 70s. I'll put it on screen. I think it was the drummer for that group, who are quite well known in America, but I don't think they did an awful lot over here, who originally recorded Dancing Madly Backwards. And for some reason, Ministry, who were like an industrial metal group, did a version, Peter Hook did a version, and then it came out as a split single. It's already been opened, this, but I think it's just standard black vinyl. But seeing as how it's open, we'll have a look. Yeah. Can't remember the price of this. The song itself, from the bit of it I've heard, is okay. It's just something else for the hooky section of the New Order and Related collection. Not heard the Ministry version yet. I do quite like some industrial music. I mean, I'm a big Rammstein fan, big Lieback fan, In Strict Confidence as well. But then there's other industrial acts that are just a bit too avant-garde for me, like Throbbing Gristle, for instance. I've never been able to get into them. We'll see what this is like. The Peter Hook version of this song seems okay. Maybe it's a grower for me. But that is Dancing Madly Backwards by Hooky.
Tiptoe, tiptoe quickly, forget about your cares, and remember underneath you is just the sea of air. Just remember underneath you is just the sea of air.
Next one is a release on Factory Benelux, the European offshoot of Factory Records in the 1980s, and it does exist kind of in a different form now, ran by my friend James Nice over at LTM Recordings. But this is an original issue on the Benelux label, and it's from Italian band Surprise. This is, I think it's a 4-track 12-inch in Movimento. If I can see the track listing, I'll read it out. It's side A, In Movimento, Parador Style, and then side B is Over Italia and Stavolta. And the reason I got this is you might be able to see somewhere just above where my finger is that it's a B Music and Dojo production. Now when it says B Music and Dojo, that usually 99 times out of 100 refers to Bernard Sumner and Donald Johnson, who produced together a lot for Factory and related artists in the 1980s. The year of this, 84 or 85, I think. Don't really know it. Kind of a blind buy, as a lot of this stuff is. Although the next thing actually I'm more familiar with. Surprise, Italian band. I think they did a bit of stuff before and after on other labels, probably similarly small European or Italian labels, but I believe this was their only release on Factory Benelux and their only production from Sumner and Dojo. But there we go, that is Surprise and In Movimento.
Questions are over, answers written before. I change in a second, fast in the same station. Shriveled cell phone inside well, do you know how to stop?
Next two I know are from the same seller and it's the same group. They only released 2 singles on Factory. I think both of these are Factory Benelux issues. Benelux released the 12-inch of this single for this group, and then Factory Normal, Factory UK, released the 7-inch. The 12-inch is Tell Me or Dites-moi from Life. So Life were a trio, and Tell Me, I'm familiar with that. It's on at least one of my B Music CD compilations. But I thought I'd get the 12-inch because of the other thing that I was able to get from the same seller. But also, there's the French version, Dites-moi, on this, which doesn't feature on the 7-inch, and I've not heard the French version before. Also, it's got the instrumental version as a B-side. Factory Benelux, once again. But if you did get the 7-inch, which doesn't have the French language version, Dites-moi, on, then that's on the normal Factory label, I think. It's all very confusing relating to what got released where, really. So if any of my information is slightly wrong, I do apologise. I've tried to do my homework as best I can. Good song, that. Not the best one from the sort of B Music canon. Oh, and it's produced by Steve and Gillian from New Order, by the way. Dites-moi/Tell Me.
To
They also released a follow-up single. Now, I'm not sure if this one ever came out as a 7-inch, but it's definitely a 12-inch on the Benelux label, because I've got it here, and it's a double A-side, Better and Optimism. This and Tell Me were similar prices. I think I made best offers to a Discogs seller for these. Got a couple of quid or so off both of them. There you go, little look at the centre label there. The catalogue number is FBN42. Nice condition sleeve this, as is the other one, to be fair. Not heard this before. It was their second and final release from Life. Don't think they ever had an album come out. Once again, another Stephen Morris and Gillian Gilbert production. So it's nice that all the members of New Order, or the original members I should say, have been represented in this haul so far. That is Life with Better, Optimism. Two more from Discogs now, and the final 12-inch single to show you from Discogs is another one from Stockholm Monsters. This is Miss Moonlight, and the other tracks on it are The Longing and Lafayette. Interesting sleeve. I wonder who's designed this sleeve actually. The sleeve is by Mark Farrow and SM. I do like Mark Farrow's designs. He's worked a lot with Pet Shop Boys over the years. I've got, how many Stockholm Monsters singles have I got now? I think this is my third. I've got two 12-inches now and a 7-inch. They're represented a little bit on some of the B Music compilation albums that I've shown in the past as well. Produced by Peter Hook. Just looking forward to it. I can't really talk about a lot of this stuff because I've not heard it before, or I've heard a little bit just so I can get a clip to hopefully play in this video. Then, now here's the first album of the day. This cost me, I think, a penny shy of £30 from Discogs, but I was really pleased at the price of that. It's a double album, and when I looked on eBay for this, I think they were trying to sell this for getting on for three figures, certainly at the sort of higher end of the kind of £80 to £90 mark. Admittedly, some of those sellers were international, but still. And even the other Discogs sellers, there wasn't that many of them selling this, but they're all sort of at least double kind of £30. I've kind of fancied this for a while now, and I'm so glad I've been able to pick it up. This might be my favourite pickup of the day, to be honest. It is Hacienda Classical. Ignore the $9.99 price sticker on. That was obviously there when it was originally in shops. It looks like an old HMV price sticker to me. So Hacienda Classical is pretty self-explanatory. It is a project predominantly featuring Graham Park, Mike Pickering, Peter Hook and the Manchester Camerata. It's got its original hype just down there in the corner. And of course it's old house classics, house music or dance music that the Hacienda pioneered back in the mid to late 80s, but remade in a classical style. I remember seeing, it was like a documentary type thing, it might have been on Sky Arts some years ago, about the Hacienda Classical project, and it was really good. And I think, you know, to combine house music and acid house of the day with classical, and then kind of put it on tour under the Hacienda branding that Peter Hook is of course very protective of these days, I thought that was quite a good idea, really. I believe this is just black vinyl, and I'm not going to get anything open just a few of the well-known tracks that are remade with the orchestra. Voodoo Ray, originally by a guy called Gerald, Pacific State, which was 808 State, Rich in Paradise, the FBI project, Blue Monday from New Order gets a classical cover, Ride on Time, Black Box, everyone knows that, You Got the Love, The Source and Candy Staten, Just Black Vinyl I believe. Yeah, to get this for 30 when everywhere else seems to be selling it for quite a markup really, I had to really jump on this. It's on the Sony Music label, by the way. So yeah, I think probably, if only for the fact that it was a good deal, my favourite pickup of the day has to end a classical.
Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord, I just don't care. But you got the love I need to see me through. Sometimes it seems it's going against too rough, and things go wrong no matter what I do. And I feel like life is just too much. You got the love I need to see me through. You got the love. You got the love. You got the
Right, we now move on to pickups from eBay. I think there's just two from eBay here, yep. Both 12-inch singles. First one, it was on the UK eBay site, but it was from Germany. It was free postage, and I think taxes were already added on. And it was only about £8 something with free postage, this. It is Cyber Secrecy featuring Bernard Sumner and Crystal. So this looks very similar in design, if you can call it a design. It's just a big old sticker on a plain black cardboard sleeve. But it's very similar to the Corvin Dalek featuring Bernard Sumner Crystal. I think it's a different label, technically, different record label. Like with the Corvin Dalek version, it was Crystal before New Order had actually recorded it. It was like an early Bernard Sumner demo almost. And Corvin Dalek got his hands on it, and then this act called Cyber Secrecy got the hands on it as well. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that, but glad to have it. Cyber Secrecy and Bernard Sumner with Crystal.
We're like crystal, we break easy. I'm a poor man. If you leave me, I'm applauded, then forgotten. It was summer, now it's autumn. The closer that I get to you, the more you run away from me. Just tell me what I've got to do. You don't have to be afraid of me. I want your love, I need your love. I want the things that others have. Whenever you're here with me, that's where I want to be.
The next one is another 12-inch single that features Hooky, and it's technically a single from Rusty Egan, and it's The Other Side. Hopefully you can see that. I think the light's shining on it well enough that that gold text at the top is quite noticeable, but I'm filming this in the evening. The lighting is kind of making me struggle a little bit here. Rusty Egan, he is kind of like one of those Mr. 1980s chaps who kind of crop up on various things. Probably been in a few documentaries. He was a DJ at the Blitz Club in the early 1980s. That was the famous New Romantic nightclub in London. He's worked with numerous artists. I think he was in the band Rich Kids. And I think this was 2007. He actually released his very first solo album. And this was one of, maybe the only, no, there might have been another one, single from it. The Other Side, and it features Hooky. I think this is actually coloured vinyl, so what I will do, I will get this open I can't remember how much it was. I think it was between £15 and £20. Plain black inner, and oh, now then, that's nice. I don't think it's coming out quite as impressive on camera, to be honest, but it's like a gold and black smoky marbly effect, and me sitting here behind it, kind of, it looks really good, me holding it up and having a bit of light come through, but I think on camera it's just looking sort of gold, and that's about it really. Take my word for it, that is an attractive coloured vinyl record there. Actually there's 4 tracks on it, it's just 4 mixes of the other side. That was easy enough to ascertain. There we go, Rusty Egan and Peter Hook, The Other Side.
Lost inside of you, stifling the truth. We're gonna drift away, float across the Milky Way. Open up your soul and set us free. Radiate the love inside of me. You'll believe it soon as you have tried. Take me to the other side. Take me to the other side.
Next 2 purchases, both albums, both from Huddersfield's own Vinyl Tap. Now, I showed you a couple of Joy Division bootleg LPs in the previous records roundup, and I said in that video I want to get those as long as I'm not paying a lot of money for them, and certainly as long as I don't already own them on some other format, be it officially or semi or unofficially on CD or vinyl previously. I just want Joy Division live stuff that I know I don't own anywhere else. Well, one of them was one that's been catching my eye at a few places, but I was just looking out for it at a slightly better price. It was the Leigh Rock Festival gig. It lists 3 dates there. I mean, Joy Division only played one of those. I should be able to remember which one it was. I've got a feeling it was the 27th, but don't quote me on it. Yeah, it's unofficial release on the Ozit Morpheus label. It has been hand numbered, as you can see. Number 144 out of 500, and they've even written what colour vinyl I get. Shall I show you? Yeah, why not? You've seen red vinyl before, but I'll open it nonetheless. I probably won't save this because this has come as a gatefold, and I'd rather put it in a gatefold protector, to be honest. Nice gatefold design here with some reading material. Looks like kind of they're doing sort of a magazine and newspaper clipping sort of deal. Should just be 1 disc. Feels quite heavyweight vinyl, this. Yeah, now to me that's more pink vinyl, to be perfectly honest. On camera it's probably looking more red, but certainly to my eyes, for what they are now, in this light, it's like a kind of dark pink really. Nonetheless, very nice indeed. Yeah, the Leigh Festival, there is kind of a slightly amusing story behind it, or at least about Factory Records' involvement in it, but I'm not going to make this video go ages trying to tell it you, and I'd probably get some of the details wrong anyway. That's something for you to look up if you are so inclined. Like a lot of these Joy Division live albums, they've been released and re-released and reissued multiple times, none of them officially licensed by the holders of the Joy Division estate and trademarks and stuff. This was from Vinyl Tap, £20, which is really the top end of what I want to pay for Joy Division bootleg albums, really. I've been seeing it for 25, pushing 30 at 1 or 2 places. I thought 20, yeah, because I was picking up something else at Vinyl Tap anyway. Yes, okay, I'll get this Leigh Rock Festival album too. Final album to show you, also from Vinyl Tap. Just chuck that protector over there. It's probably going to be the best known album out of anything that I've shown today, because the group, the act, is a big seller, very popular all over the world. Just not one I've really been into, but there's a certain New Order member who features on one track on this album, so I had to have it. It is Gorillaz, and it's their 2020 studio album, I believe, Song Machine. So Gorillaz, they don't really need any explanation from me, but I've never owned a Gorillaz release before. I've not owned a single or an album by them. Wasn't that fond of their early stuff, haven't even paid attention to their more recent stuff. It's Damon Albarn and one or two others. It's like a virtual band where, you know, it's cartoon characters, but we know that Damon and others are behind it really. Very popular, and a lot of people are fans of their kind of eclectic dance, indie pop sort of stuff. But I wanted Song Machine, and it's just a standard black vinyl version. It came out in a few different colour formats, I believe, but this was the only one that was available at Vinyl Tap at the time, and I didn't really care if I got just standard black. This features the track Aries, which includes Peter Hook and also a lady called Georgia, of whom I know nothing about. Heard a bit of the track, good track actually. I get the feeling I'm going to enjoy this album more than I'm expecting to. I mean, I might be wrong, I might hate it, apart from Aries, but I'm not a big Blur fan. Damon Albarn, I need to be in the mood for him really, his voice. I wouldn't say I dislike Blur, because I don't. I have owned Blur singles in the distant past, but I've never been interested or inclined to investigate Gorillaz more, but I will be now, at least this album, with Song Machine Season 1. I think it's Season 1. That's what it was credited as on Discogs anyway. Interesting stuff, but one track featuring Peter Hook, Aries, I had to have a punt.
It's waiting to turn gray. I feel so isolated without you. I can't play a happy tune on my own, so stay by my side. High or low tide.
Right, finally, mail opening to do. Except for that, it's not really a mail opening because I already took it out of the mailer. They sent this DVD. In fact, it's actually two DVDs. Here's the other one, but I'm not opening that one today because it's got nothing to do with New Order. I will show you what this one is on the next Records Roundup, which will be along on the channel pretty soon, I'm sure. It's actually a two DVD set. I already own both of the things in here, but when I saw that this particular edition was for sale at Flashback, then I had to have it. £20 for this, which seems a good price, to be honest. Don't know why they sent it in like a record mailer, because it just wasn't very well protected, but they did come in these individual Jiffy envelopes as well, so perhaps that was the only packaging they had to date. I do really like Flashback Records, and I've been really impressed with their service, their prices, their choice over the last year or so, so I'm not gonna sit here whinging about them. Yes, I've opened the right one. I thought this was the one I needed to open today because it's thicker than the other one, this being basically two different DVDs in one. And it is New Order Item, and what Item is two previous New Order DVD releases in the one box set. So we've got New Order A Collection, which is all of their promo videos from Confusion up till Waiting for the Siren's Call, but then there's some extras as well, such as alternate versions of Round and Round, Crystal, and a couple of live bits as well. I did a video about my New Order and Joy Division DVD collection, 3 years ago, might have been getting on for 4 years. It feels like a long time ago now. I've got this and the other thing that's in here. Yeah, there's A Collection. couldn't resist. So yeah, I'm doubling up, but the other DVDs, because there's no new bits on these, they've just packaged it in this box. That's all that's different really, is that you're getting 2 in 1. New Order Story originally had this on video back in the 1990s, upgraded to the DVD whenever that was, and I've got a second DVD copy within this box set now. Great documentary, a little bit self-indulgent and baffling in places, but very watchable, very enjoyable. So the spare ones of these I will pass them on as VCLT. While I've doubled up for now, I won't be keeping the other DVD for a collection or for story, because I don't need to. They're exactly the same as what you get in here. So there we go, that's all the New Order pickups for you today. I really didn't think that I'd be able to get a part 9 done really for this series. Honestly, hand to God, I thought I'm just going to be picking up bits and bobs here and there, but I fell down the rabbit hole, realised that there was still some pretty well priced stuff. There is 1 or 2 bits that I don't think I'll be getting at any point in the near future because they are rather expensive and rare. I'm just glad to have continued this series really, even though I kind of said last time, oh no, part 8's the end of it now. But I'm not going to say anything about part 10, whether there will or won't be, because I've just contradicted myself more than enough throughout this series now. But thank you all for watching this, hope you enjoyed it, and special thanks go to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm gonna go now. Lots of vinyl to listen to there, singles, albums, and I will be re-watching, as I've not seen either of these for quite some time anyway. But now that I've got this item box set here, this kind of reissue of the 2 New Order DVDs here, I'll be watching this again soon as well. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next New Order related and music collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!